not talking about Unstream Crusader. I already posted my opinions and removed them because people, for some reason, didn't understand that, like, I actually have zero involvement apart from tweeting my public opinion. I had nothing to do with the entire situation apart from tweeting my opinion. I didn't cause anyone to post anything. Everyone that posted everything posted what they did. Jumping to conclusions is something a lot of people do. I was sat on it for quite a while. Don't think that I didn't just rush and think, that's truth. Because there is truth to a lot of what was posted originally. A lot of it has now been debunked. I'm surprised no one is understanding that I'm actually happy that he's managed to debunk most. Okay, there are a few things he's debunked, but there's also a fuck ton of stuff he needs to talk about that he missed out on purpose. Okay, and this is the last I'm going to speak of it. I don't want anyone else's. I want to talk about it because I don't think people understand how heavy it is for us lot as well. It's been heavy since we found out. It might not seem like it, but like we're really bad at dealing with this stuff. We all are. Everyone involved is terrible at dealing with stuff, him included, especially him. So I kind of just wish that those guys can hopefully deal with it privately and get it sorted. I was one of the few people that said this should be dealt privately. Go to the police if this is a serious issue. And that was ignored. So I already felt quite annoyed when it was released anyway, because I was like, regardless of like how bad it is, I feel like it should be private. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm not someone that was out to end the guy. I don't particularly like the guy anymore, just because of some of the things that are 100% that happened. It's things that I don't agree with. It's just my morals. I don't agree with them. That is fine if you disagree. You are allowed to like the guy. I'm not going to tell anyone that they're an idiot for liking the guy. Am I wrong for making jokes about it? I don't think so. Should it be public, though? Not really. I don't particularly think that clowning on a guy is 100%, because after the Attica stuff, my opinion's changed. But back then, when we were clowning on him, sure, whatever. But, like, I think now, me getting clowned on, I don't give a shit. That's fine. People can have their own opinion. And, like, that's what happened when the stuff came out about him originally. Everyone had their own opinion. So that's fine. I just think that everyone clowning on him and her and stuff, I stay with him because I watched him back when all the stuff... I stayed with him because when I watched the stuff back when it all took place, like when he did... Oh, okay, fair enough. That's fair enough. I respect that. I really do. I genuinely... I bow to you. Because you sticking by his side is something that a lot of people refuse to do with YouTubers. They will either read one thing or they'll hear one thing. I know that's what I've done. Or it might seem like what I've done. Because, trust me, I've read more than just one thing. I've read a lot of stuff on it. I've been talking a lot about it. And it's been driving me insane. Trust me. I was really upset when I heard about it. Because I'd just been with him physically for a week. 2 weeks. So... I was really hurt to hear it. I don't think I reacted out of hurt to these tweets. And he's saying, and tweet what I tweeted. Originally what I tweeted was I just said, well done to Che, because what she was talking about was, okay, I know there's things taken out of context, as a lot of you have seen, but a lot of it that people are complaining is out of context, regardless of context, still is quite bad. I say quite, it's abusive. And yes, this happened ages ago. People should be able to get over this. I personally think it should have been dealt with privately from the start and behind the scenes. And I understand it's difficult to deal with things. If you view someone as your abuser, you don't particularly want to deal with it behind the scenes. People think she's just doing it for clout, she's doing it for that. That's not not everyone does things for clout. No, not everyone does that. Like, I want to set that record straight. Not everyone does that, regardless if it seems like that. That's not what she's been trying to do. She has voiced and expressed a lot of the time that she originally didn't want to come out with it because she didn't want to seem like that. She didn't want to end his career because she knows how hard he's worked for it. Anyone of a fan or a friend of his will understand that he's worked so hard to get where he is today. He's gone through a lot, and it is something that if you were to talk about this publicly, you would feel like shit, because if you were cancelling him which I don't agree with anyway. I hate cancel culture, and I wasn't trying to feed into it. I understand now looking at the tweets. Yes, I did give in to cancel culture. That won't happen again from me. You can assure that. 100%. You won't see me doing that. So don't worry about it. And other people don't want to talk about it. I felt like I'd speak about it just one time, on the one time, because I understand that it's drama to a lot of you, but for a lot of other people, them especially, this is real life. And that's going to damage both of them mentally and just for the rest of their lives. And that needs to be respected. I think we're at that point now where it's like, we were at that point to begin with. I'll be honest. We were at that point to begin with. Shouldn't have been public. And it should be private. And now, especially, I think it should be really rolled back. What I'm saying is, I wish they would say it out loud when it was first there. I'd rather never hear. Okay, I see what you mean, but it's the issue is like when someone hears something about that, and then there's because we obviously weren't just looking at screenshots, we're looking at the actual messages, right? And not just screenshots, because then we're gonna have to rule out the argument that they're fake. We saw them in context, right? And even with those 11 minutes he was talking about was cut out, even still, a lot of it's still pretty bad. But I think that shouldn't exactly. Okay, there's still things that need to be proved that he needs to talk about. I'm going to be honest with you. There's still things he really, and I'm not even going to go into the specifics, I think he really needs to think about maybe making another part. He's probably going to wait. The thing is, this is what it's going to be, right? This is the thing with this drama stuff. This is where people need to start realizing that they shouldn't give attention to this stuff because, and I feel like an idiot kind of giving attention to it because I don't really agree with it. But I did because I understood how hard it can be for both of them, and I wanted to support the idea of it getting solved, not the idea of someone being cancelled. I want it to be solved, okay? And I think that it can be. It's difficult for me to portray my opinion because I don't like the guy, and I kind of have to say that I like the guy for people to understand where I'm coming from, which is annoying. I'm allowed to not like someone because of what I think about them. That's fair. Can we agree? Because people say that about everyone else, I think it's fair. I think it would have been better. And I will learn from this. Don't worry. I have definitely learned from this. It has hurt me big time. And a lot of other people involved. Because you have to remember the amount of creators. I'm talking Suthouse as well included. A bunch of other people. Like, there are hundreds of YouTubers that replied to these tweets saying, we support you, Che. And a lot of other people that said the opposite. But if there's there's 3 sides to every story. That's the last thing I'm going to say. There are 3 sides to every story. There's the truth. Only people involved will know. So only those 2 know the truth. And then there's their side, and there's the one person's side and the other person's side. That are the 3 sides, and we will never know the actual truth. Okay? How can we ever know? We weren't there. So trust me. Again, I will never speak on this drama stuff again. I don't want to get involved in it. I now understand how heavy this cancel culture drama stuff can get. Like how. Watching the Echo stuff happen and watching him have a breakdown and me saying to my friends and things like, he's having a mental breakdown. Like, he's getting really, really, like, fucked. He's really losing it. It made me really sad just seeing him lose it and his audience just call him a clown. And then for him to take his own life was just okay, we have to stop now. Like, and that, for me, that is me, never again. I will never give in to cancel culture, just any type of that stuff. This has made it real. This is the part where, okay, we grow up now. We gotta grow up. And that's all I'm gonna say, because it's been a heavy week. To have it all happen in one week, it really made me realize, like, how over the top a lot of these things are when it should be done privately. Like, yeah, we can know, like, you know, as YouTubers, we could just know about it and just go on. The thing is, that kind of happened for a while, and then people decided, yeah, it should be public, and then I got shit. This is the thing. I got literal DMs from this. So the people that were like, God, this BluesDank's guy's such a loser for ever talking about it, right? The same guy who DM'd me that stuff saying, how dare you keep it from everyone? How could you know and not tell anyone and not tweet about it? Same guy's tweeting at me saying, what a fucking idiot. How could he ever support this person? And I'm like, okay. And then he's like, wow, he's such a clown for even supporting anyone or even ever talking about it. And I'm like, bruh, you literally DM me saying I was a scumbag for not saying it because I could be potentially causing that guy to harm and abuse other people. That's what you said. So there is literally no right or wrong in this. It's just your opinion, and keep it at your opinion. That's all that needs to be done. It doesn't need to be public. It doesn't need to be going on behind the scenes loads. All it needs to be is your opinion. And then you can keep that opinion to yourself. And I don't think it's that wrong for people to tweet about it, but maybe it's time we stop tweeting our opinions every 5 seconds about stuff, because we don't particularly need to. And that's me. That's my piece. Let's spam the chat with love hearts, just for everyone involved in that situation, because I feel terrible for all of them. Genuinely. It is a tough decision. It's tough to be accused. It's tough to have gone through a lot of that stuff and know that you've done wrong. And it's tough to come out with that stuff. And then it's also tough to have potentially taken things out of context and then getting shit for that and getting a lot of hate. Because especially when people aren't, they don't want to be wrong. They want to just fix things, and they don't know exactly how to all the time. It's things we learn when we grow up. And I think everyone can learn from this entire situation. And that's all I want people to understand. And trust me, it has really affected a lot of us. People who aren't even that deeply involved, we're just getting the tweets and things. Just the tweets can make us feel like shit. Trust me. I'm glad I have thick enough skin. Want a link of my pet kitten? Please. I'm glad, Crusader, that you've came here and you've discussed this with us. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And thank you for keeping your opinion and sticking by someone. And I'm not saying, well, I'm sticking by your abuser, because people are going to think that if they're on his side. I'm just saying, thank you for sticking by your opinion and being strong with it. And talking about it, because I want to pick of that. I absolutely want to pick a link of that, Felicity. Thank you. I just, will links work in chat? Try. I think they're fixed now. But I appreciate all of you. Whether whatever opinion you've had, I appreciate and I respect it, because I genuinely respect it when people stick by their opinions, because it shows you have a fucking backbone. Okay? There are some people with Rip Etika in their names and their profile pictures, and they are literally having a go at, they're like replying to people's tweets with clowns still, and like that shit is obviously people that don't stick by their opinion. So, you are obviously real ones, and I appreciate all of you. I'm just gonna say that now. Because, like, regardless of what people are going to say about me from now on about this situation, I just want people to know that this is my side. Whether I'm contradicting myself or whatever, I'm just saying I just want what's best for both people involved. And it's sad. It is just a sad situation where, honestly, if all this stuff is happening in the real world, if this is like real life, not just on the internet. I know that some of this stuff was physical, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that some of the stuff that happened, this is happening now. If this is happening in the real world and real world arguments, some of this stuff will be taken to the police. And that's all I'm saying, is that maybe this should have been dealt privately and alone, without eyes of the world watching, because not everyone has to watch this stuff. Some people would rather watch Minecraft, okay? That's all I'm going to say. So, thank you for listening to me ramble. It's really been on my shoulders for the past couple of days.